Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a truly intricate narrative. It sort of blurs the lines between national security, personal vengeance, and, well, the relentless pursuit of truth.
Yeah, it's quite a story.
Imagine this. Shadowy figures, high up in power, orchestrating events globally.
Right. And meanwhile, this small, kind of unlikely group finds itself caught right in the middle.
Exactly. Caught in the crosshairs,
Yeah.
forced to uncover a conspiracy that threatens to ignite a world war. It's pretty intense stuff.
It really is. And we've taken this fascinating collection of sources, basically excerpts from a detailed account, and our mission for you today is to pull out the most important bits of knowledge and insight.
We'll get into characters driven by some really personal motives, won't we?
Definitely. And explore the inner workings of these elite intelligence agencies. We'll see how events that seem totally separate actually connect to form this bigger, pretty shocking picture.
That's the plan. By the end of this deep dive, you should have a clear grasp of the key players, their hidden agendas, and the surprising twists that come up.
We'll unpack it all, highlight those details that make it so compelling.
Yeah, leave you with plenty to chew on. So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
So we kick off with this really high-stakes pursuit. It's a country road.
Mm-hmm.
Picture a Chevy just flying along, chased by a helicopter. Inside the car, three men, Adnan, Mohammed, and Gul Khan.
The tension's immediate.
Yeah.
You feel it right away. And the internal conflict, too.
Yeah, Adnan.
Oh, yeah.
He's got this deep-seated hatred for Iran recently. But Mohammed's a fellow Muslim.
And he's clearly uncomfortable with Gul Khan, the Afghan guy.
It shows you, right from the start, that even when they're all in danger together,
Those internal conflicts, hitting loyalties, they can just take over.
it's quite telling how quickly things fracture, even with that helicopter threat right there.
Yeah, Adnan just ruthlessly kills both Gul Khan and Mohammed. It's brutal.
Shoots Gul Khan in the neck.
And then a contact shot to Mohammed's temple. He doesn't just kill them, though.
No, he stages the borders and gets help from two Westerners who pop out of this four-person chopper.
Which is a surprise in itself.
Right, and he even grabs a shotgun to make the scene look, well, different.
It's not just violence, it's calculated betrayal. Chilling, really, sets the tone. Unpredictable alliances, hidden motives.
And this early betrayal, it really sets the stage for a much bigger deception that we'll get into later.
Definitely.
Which brings us to Oliver Stone. This character is haunted by this recurring nightmare.
About losing his wife and daughter, Beth.
Yeah, and he physically pours water over his face, trying to push away this, heat-filled pain the sources mention.
His role is so unique. He's the caretaker at Mount Zion Cemetery in D.C.
Which has that history, right? The Underground Railroad stop.
Exactly. He works for cash, barely scrapes by, but he calls it his best job ever. What's that tell you?
Well, it's telling. And his name, Oliver Stone.
He chose it himself. Like a cheeky defiance, nodding to the filmmaker,
The one who challenged the official history.
And this Oliver Stone is just as obsessed with the real truth. He has this nightly ritual.
Watching the mansion across the street.
Documenting everything in journals. He thinks the guy there, Carter Gray, has way too much power.
And it's not just paranoia. He's got government-issued binoculars from his past service.
Right, and the Secret Service knows him.
Right.
From his protest tent near the White House.
Which he insists he has a permit for.
So you see this guy, looks like he's on the fringes, but he's sharp, he understands power, and he's deeply suspicious when it's unchecked.
That suspicion is key. Now, speaking of power, the president's limo, the Beast.
Ah, yes, the Beast.
It's not just a car. $10 million Cadillac DTS, anti-ballistic steel, windows like phone books.
Self-healing tires. It's a fortress on wheels.
Its only weaknesses. Can't fly, can't float.
Right, but what does it represent, really?
Well, connected to the bigger picture, it symbolizes that huge, almost impenetrable power structure around the president, right? The state itself.
And inside that structure, Carter Gray, the guy Stone's watching.
The intelligence czar controls $50 billion budget?
$50 billion and 120,000 people across 15 intelligence agencies.
Wow.
The sources say he has iron-fisted control. He bends the CIA, the Pentagon, to his will.
And Stone knew him years ago.
Decades ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And he firmly believes no single person should have that much power, especially not someone like Gray.
And that tension, it plays out almost immediately. A guard confronts Stone about the binoculars.
Exactly. It shows Gray's reach right away.
Okay, let's shift to a really pivotal moment. The Patrick Johnson case.
Right, Roosevelt Island.
Johnson's body is found. Official ruling. Suicide. Gunshot in the mouth, revolver, scotch, suicide note.
And it's noted significantly that this was his first date spot with his fiancée, Ann Jeffries.
Yeah.
Adds to the suicide narrative.
But red flags immediately go up for this group, the Camel Club. What tips them off?
This is where observation is just crucial. The Camel Club, that Stone, Reuben Rhodes,
The Vietnam vet, ex-DIA, now working in a warehouse.
Caleb Shaw, twin doctorates, rare books expert at the Library of Congress.
And Milton Farb, brilliant but absent-minded with OCD.
Right. They see the scene and they just don't buy the official story. Stone, especially.
His keen eye. What does he spot?
Okay, get this. Clean shoe soles, but the ground is dirty. No twigs or leaves on the clothes, even though he's supposedly been near trees. And the suicide note, it's in a soaking wet pocket, but the note itself is only barely damp.
So he wasn't in the water long, or?
Stone figures he was dumped in the water after he was dead.
Yeah.
To simulate swimming there, he suspects pros.
So this isn't just a suspicious death. It's the first real crack in the official story. Hints at a cover-up.
Sophisticated one. And the doubts actually reach into official channels, too.
Alex Ford, Secret Service. He's just supposed to observe the FBI.
But he's skeptical, like Stone. And his doubts grow when they look into Johnson's finances.
The sudden wealth. A $1.4 million house, $500,000 cash down payment.
Expensive cars, Infinity. Lexus paid off fast. From untraceable bank accounts.
That's a huge red flag, isn't it? Especially for someone in intelligence.
Absolutely. It raises big questions. Then a DEA dog finds heroin in the attic.
So the FBI lands on drug dealing. Makes sense on the surface.
But Agent Lloyd still kind of leans toward suicide because of the location, the symbolism. And he thinks drug dealers wouldn't be this sophisticated, maybe.
But Alex isn't convinced. The money, the staging, it points to something bigger.
Exactly. It shows how easy it is to follow assumptions down the wrong path.
Which brings us to Johnson's actual job. This is critical.
At NIC, the National Intelligence Center.
He oversaw data files on terrorist suspects. He was merging databases from all 15 agencies, FBI, DEA, DHS, CIA, you name it.
And troubleshooting the whole system. That put him in a unique position to, well, manipulate data.
It's not just tech support, it's immense power in the information age.
Precisely. And Stone comes up with this chilling theory. This sterilized weapon. Explain that.
He thinks people are made to seem dead in the databases. Their pasts wiped clean, so they can operate covertly, under new identities, maybe.
How did he connect that?
He thinks about the Library of Congress, where Caleb works. They have safeguards, right? The person buying rare books can't be the same person altering the records.
Separation of duties.
Right. But Stone realizes, what if someone controlled both data entry and acquisition? Then you could create these false realities, weaponize identity itself.
Wow.
And then Tom Hemingway at NIC gives this terrifying demonstration to Alex and another agent, Jackie Simpson.
Where does he show them?
Their own detailed profiles, credit card use, everything. Then he pulls up Adnan Arimi's file, the guy from the opening scene.
Yeah.
It has a skull and crossbones symbol, confirmed deceased. But Hemingway explains the photos. They're subtly altered.
Oh, yeah.
A digitized combination of the real person and the dead body used for the fake ID, basically. He says it makes it virtually impossible to identify any of these Arabs from their photos in the NIC database. So Johnson was creating these altered realities. It exposes this massive vulnerability.
Exactly. And with this knowledge, the Camel Club, led by Stone, they decide they have to go after the NIC guys linked to Johnson's death, Tyler Reinke and Warren Peters.
Which leads to that chase scene.
Yeah, a high-speed motorcycle chase. Ends with Caleb Shaw ramming Reinke's car with his Malibu, and Stone actually hits Peters with a helmet.
So direct confirmation. These guys are the killers. They are from NIC, and the Camel Club is now in serious danger.
No turning back now.
Oh.
They're deep in it. Which leads us to maybe the most audacious part of this whole thing. The president's kidnapping.
Right, President Brennan. In his hometown, which even renamed itself after him, big dedication ceremony planned.
Perfect stage. The masterminds. Captain Jackie's American, speaks fluent Arabic, knows Islamic customs.
And Tom Hemingway again, the NIC guy. Expert on the Middle East, skilled in internal martial arts.
Which is interesting, that subtle internal focus rather than just brute force.
And their operatives. They chose them carefully, didn't they?
Very. Older, reasonably educated men. Men who'd lost families in conflicts, not just, violent and zealous Muslims. They wanted restraint, not just blind fury. That's just a deeper motive than simple terrorism.
The attack plan itself is incredibly coordinated. They target the rope line.
The president's most vulnerable spot, while setting up diversions, snipers with advanced gear,
M50's digital optics, neural feedback.
and Fedayeen suicide bombers. Plus, Dr. Bellamy, the president's doctor, he's a specific target.
And the method of incapacitating Brennan, it's ingenious.
The hallucinogen through the handshake causes heart attack symptoms, paralysis, and it hits 5 other people who shook his hand too.
That level of planning shows they understand security, physiology, everything.
They know the vulnerabilities. And the key players in the abduction are just as clever. Jamila, the nanny.
Iraqi Sunni Muslim, but her papers say Saudi to get into the U.S. easier.
Right. She believed in greater jihad, but got radicalized by things she'd seen firsthand. Anger took over. Her job. Transport the president.
In her van.
She drugs her employer, Lori Franklin. Puts Brennan in this hidden compartment in the floor. Lead and copper lined. Shaped exactly for his body.
And the police search the van.
Inches away. But they miss him. The crying kids, the putrid smells from maybe diapers or something. It provides perfect cover. Shows how everyday things can be used in these plots.
And then Adnan al-Rimi surfaces again, the guy from the opening.
Now using the name Fareed Shah, working as a hospital security guard.
He pretends to help Alex Ford get the sick president into the hospital.
But once inside, uses Brennan as a human shield. Grabs him right from Alex.
Meanwhile, another operative, Ahmed, this young Iranian poet, he tries to kill Brennan.
Yeah, thinks it's the ultimate revenge, believes the American plot leaders are just using them.
But Adnan kills Ahmed, sticks to the plan.
It just shows layers upon layers of betrayal and complex agendas. Nobody seems fully trustworthy.
The fallout globally is immediate and brutal.
News hits, violence erupts.
Right?
Muslims attacked, killed. Retaliation happens, 5 Americans beheaded in Kuwait.
And the kidnappers, they release Brennan's nuclear codes.
Which Secretary of Defense Joe Decker confirms are accurate. Huge move.
They issue demands, but then say Brennan will be released unharmed even if the demands aren't met.
Total confusion globally. Massive pressure on the U.S. It's sophisticated psychological warfare aimed at destabilization.
And Carter Gray. He's convinced it's terrorists, driven by his own 9/11 loss.
Right. He argues with Decker, saying the real question is who planned it all. He suspects a hidden puppet master.
He interrogates the captured Adnan.
Shows him photos of his family killed in the Iraq wars.
Yeah.
Trying to link it all to revenge.
But then Adnan dies in custody. Self-suffocation with medical tape.
Makes it look like Gray's interrogation went too far. Prevents Adnan from talking more. Gray's fury when he sees the surveillance video. He clearly suspects a cover-up himself. Shows his paranoia, maybe the dodgy ethics of his methods.
The tension just keeps building. It reaches apocalypse level.
Acting President Hamilton, he's pressured by Decker by the global violence.
He orders a nuclear strike on Damascus, Syria. Blames them and this Sharia group for the kidnapping.
A Trident missile launches, capable of wiping out Damascus with multiple thermonuclear warheads. The destructive power is just unimaginable, more than all bombs in history combined, including Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
It really highlights the danger of assumptions, of unchecked power, especially when it's fueled by personal motives like Gray's.
And then that nail-biting moment, a communication glitch with his sub.
Right at the last second, the missile is aborted.
Millions of lives saved. World pulled back from the brink of global jihad. Damascus is still left in shambles from other things, apparently, but that specific catastrophe averted by a mere second.
It just shows how thin that line is between peace and total war, how easily one person's agenda could trigger it.
So, with the world just having dodged a bullet, the Camel Club regroups. Alex Ford is there, and Kate Adams.
She's now a DOJ lawyer investigating intelligence abuses, and Alex's love interest.
They gather at Stone's cottage. They watch that surveillance video from Milton's house.
Finally confirming it. Reinke and Peters, the NIC guys, were the killers. They did alter Johnson's files.
That's the solid proof they needed. Irrefutable.
Which sends them deeper. Stone leads them to Murder Mountain.
Yeah, this former CIA training facility for special operatives. As Stone puts it, they weren't being trained to be nice to people.
He knows the place inside out.
Intimately. Trained there himself, he grimly tells his friends he brought them there to die here.
Intense. How do they navigate it?
Stone uses this system he taught Alex. Red and green dots on the floor, like ship lights port and starboard, left and right turns.
It's like Stone's past is literally guiding them through this dangerous present and reveals why he distrusts the system so much.
And it's there, inside Murder Mountain, that the truth about his own past connects with the conspiracy.
They run into North Korean operatives first.
Yeah, and then they uncover the whole plot. Captain Jack reveals Hemingway's role picking the operatives, orchestrating the kidnapping.
And Hemingway's motive? Complete disillusionment with U.S. foreign policy.
He goes on this whole rant. Oil interests, proxy wars, supporting dictators, even, he claims, funding illegal ops by feeding crack into black neighborhoods.
He argues the U.S. military budget isn't for protection, it's for aggression.
Criticizes the one-size-fits-all democracy push, especially in the Middle East. Cites the CIA overthrowing Iran's leader decades ago.
So Hemingway's explanation, it shifts the whole thing, doesn't it? It's not just terrorism, it's this complex ideological internal critique.
Exactly. He sees himself as exposing systemic flaws. And then the personal bomb drops for Stone.
Carter Gray blurts it out.
In a desperate moment, yeah. Reveals that Jackie Simpson, Alex's Secret Service partner, is actually Beth Carr.
Oliver Stone's daughter, the one he thought was dead for decades.
Her file was altered. Birthplace wrong, everything. It's the devastating truth behind his nightmares, his long search, his personal tragedy woven into the very intelligence machine he hates.
But the tragedy isn't over.
No. Jackie overhears Gray. Here's his real plan to kill Brennan. Here's him justifying the potential deaths of millions in Syria. She refuses to stay quiet.
And one of Gray's men shoots her, kills her.
Right in front of Scone. He has to watch his daughter die again. The system he feared takes her from him. It confirms all his worst suspicions.
Just devastating, and the chaos that follows. Stone corners Captain Jack.
Cuts his legs to immobilize him. And Jack, showing his true colors, offers Stone $10 million to kill Brennan anyway. Purely mercenary.
But Hemingway still insists Brennan be returned, the way I planned.
Yeah. And Stone confronts Gray. He uses Jackie's death, that shared pain of loss, to expose the moral void in Gray's methods.
He insists Brennan be returned to a symbolic Medina, part of Hemingway's original, maybe less lethal plan. It's like turning grief into accountability.
And this is how the truth finally gets out. Stone has that hidden recorder.
A cell phone given to him by a friend?
Records Gray detailing his plans to kill the president. Undeniable proof.
Which leads to Gray's abrupt resignation.
The very next day, the president is returned unharmed. It becomes clear Syria, the Sharia group, they weren't really involved in the kidnapping plot itself.
And Jackie Simpson, Beth Carr, she's laid to rest.
Privately, Stone attends, hidden, grappling with being a father to a daughter he barely knew but clearly loved deeply.
It suggests that truth, however painful, eventually surfaces, and one person's integrity can challenge huge systems.
And for the others, Alex Ford and Kate Adams.
They're formally initiated into the Camel Club, acknowledged for their exemplary work, their commitment to finding the truth.
And the club adopts its motto, camels have great stamina, they never give up.
It really underscores that idea. A small group, committed, can stand against incredible odds.
What a journey, though, through this maze of power, lies, and unlikely heroes.
Yeah. We've seen how one violent act can just unravel this huge, deeply personal conspiracy with global consequences.
To the calculated ruthlessness of intelligence agencies.
To the dogged pursuit of truth by this, well, unassuming group of friends. It really shows the human cost of these hidden agendas.
It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What does it mean for regular people to seek justice when the powerful operate outside the usual rules?
And how do we, just as citizens, sort truth from manipulation? Especially when, as the story shows, even intelligence systems can be turned against us.
That's a tough question.
So here's something to maybe mull over. This narrative really explores how the idea of freedom can be twisted, interpreted, imposed, often with really devastating results.
Yeah.
Think about what freedom actually means, and can a nation's efforts to protect itself ever justify actions that betray its own core values? Or lead to the suffering of millions.
It's a profound challenge.
Right.
This story pushes us to question our assumptions, not just about who we think our enemies are,
But about the very systems we rely on, the ones we trust to protect us. Lots to think about there.